Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another round of Monday Night Racing with the NNR League here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway. Blair Patterson here in the booth along with Expert. Expert, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing just wonderful. We're getting set to go green, or well, go racing here. I'm not going to say go green. We still got a bit of time for that. But these guys getting set to go racing here at the Windy City of Chicagoland. It's going to be a lot of fun. A multi-group track. And these guys, the times are really, really close. So, I mean, this is definitely going to be a fun race. There's only about 100th of a second. And right as I say that, it goes to a 10th difference between first and second.
Yeah, the time's super close, like you pointed out. I've been watching practice here for the past little while, and all these drivers are looking really fast. It looks like Chicago is playing well into most of these guys' hands. I'm excited to see a really good race. 140 laps here tonight, and should be a lot of racing action for us.
Almost certainly, and I mean, all these guys coming out here tonight, it's going to be a lot of fun. The championship battle is really heated up. Roman picking up another win last time out, really allowing him to regain that points lead. And once again, him and Nick Trader looking to duel it out as they both try to go after this title. And I mean, it's still a long season to go, but these dudes have really made themselves known as the top tier of the pack up to this point. It's going to be really interesting to see how these guys try to tackle tonight's race.
Yeah, definitely. So tonight, looking at practice, Nick Roman right now the fastest in practice. Nick Trader 10th fastest in practice. So a little bit slower than what we've seen from Trader the previous few weeks. Don't know if he's been working on single car runs and these other guys have been working in drafts. But we got a little bit of a shakeup to the practice time. So might see some new faces towards the front of the pack this evening when the green flag drops.
Most certainly, and you know, looking at all these guys, Smith, Darnell, Anasagok, different guys that we're seeing here, Tyndall up here near the front. A lot of these guys we really haven't seen outside of Anasagok that I mentioned. A lot of these guys we really haven't seen be successful since Daytona at week 1. So with the high draft track such as Chicagoland, we can definitely expect these guys to come out here. It's very similar as far as the amount of draft that you can get here. Draft is so crucial at this track, and we're going to see that here tonight with a lot of these guys being near the front.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, the great thing about Chicagoland, it's multi-group, like you touched on a little bit before. So you're going to see guys running the bottom, see guys running the top. And interesting thing, the back straightaway is not actually straight at Chicagoland. Bows out a little bit, so it's going to give a little bit more room for racing down the back stretch and some of that drafting like you were just touching on.
Yeah, so these guys, they really have a test on their hands to try to go after this one. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Can't wait to see what these guys can do.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get us a blimp view here so we can see how the back straightaway kind of bows out. Doesn't look like the blimp view's quite high enough to really capture how much that back straightaway actually bows out. Hey, we tried for the view. We tried.
And we tried. Hey, you can't say we didn't try.
We made an effort.
Exactly. about to say, we made it. We made a definite effort to try to provide the new camera.
We went for it. We went for it. It was not helping us.
You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
That's exactly right.
So why not? Why not? We tried.
A really close action here in practice.
Hey, right here, our good friend Cowboy out there in chat saying can't go on these practice times because a lot of them are draft laps compared to these single car runs.
So he just mentioned what we talked about a second ago. As we see Joe Darnell just tag the wall there. Cowboy, folks, this is a good time to bring up texting and driving. Cowboy was just involved in that little incident here that we had in practice. He's also out there in chat, so just remember, don't text and drive. That message can wait.
About to say, some states should hire you to run their.
You know, I am always looking for new job opportunities.
Another day, another dollar.
That's right. Got a raise up to $1.
Oh lordy. These these guys. One thing about Chicagoland though is that this can be a very wild and wacky track for these guys to be able to handle. Talk about the different grooves throughout the run. You could expect to see these guys try all different lines and try to get experimental. You being a iRacer yourself, what is the idea for you to come in here and try to attack this track here in the Windy City?
So big thing here is when tires are fresh, I'm going to be down towards the bottom, do kind of a late arcing entry. You can see Nick Trader doing that right here on screen, that 56 machine. Do a late arcing entry, get down to the bottom, track it all the way out to the wall like the 56 did right here. Now as the run goes on, you're going to see that groove move. For the fast guys that have room to work around, you'll see it move up. There's Nick working the middle groove. Thank you so much to Nick Trader in the 56 for participating in this, like we practiced this here. But he runs the middle groove there in 3 and 4. And you're going to even see some guys running the wall up here, you know, that Kyle Larson line, as they call it. And, you know, guys like Nick Trader, they're going to run both ends of this track just a little bit different. You see them working 1, 2 down at the bottom, 3, 4, then working middle groove. So these are a lot of really great places to pass here. You're going to see this apron here on the front stretch be used a whole lot here at Chicagoland as well.
Almost certainly, and of course we talked about the difference in lap times here between draft and single car runs. With that difference, for these guys that have been mainly running single car runs that really haven't felt the draft yet, is there a big difference that these guys are going to have to get used to once the green flag drops?
I wouldn't say huge. They might notice that the vehicle's a little bit tighter in the corner. If you're up behind somebody, it might be a little bit tighter. You might feel it a little bit loose on corner entry if somebody's taking the air off your spoiler. But other than that, it's not going to be like night and day difference. It's not going to be, holy cow, I'm wrecking because of whatever. It's just going to be a fine adjustment for these drivers.
Well, of course, these guys, they have a long way to go for these adjustments. Still a while here in practice for these guys. And I got to ask you, Chicagoland, NASCAR's no longer running there.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But Chicagoland has been home of a lot of great moments. What is your favorite moment for this track?
Whew, that's a good question. There's been so many. I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with the time that the Big Orange got loose on the track. I mean, I know that's not a racing moment, but always thought that was hilarious.
I still want to know if we got a time on that orange, did we?
I don't think we got a time on it.
Okay.
The transponder was not working properly.
That's very unfortunate. Mine has to be in this my all-time favorite, Kyle Busch versus Kyle Larson.
That was good.
Great race down to the finish.
That was good. Speaking of times, how about Grandpa Coey up here, P8 on the charts?
Grandpa Coey coming out here and showing out here. Not sure if that is some form of a draft lap or if Grandpa Coey's coming out here with some speed tonight.
Looking good. Looking good. Got that big smile, got his shades on, running P8 in practice.
Gotta love the shades.
Looking good. Shout out that 24 owner of the league.
About to say, Truck's looking good. He's feeling good. We talked to him before the race. He had a huge smile on his face, just laughing. So you know he's feeling good. Not a little bit of fear in him. Nothing whatsoever is going to temper that mood.
Nah, he's good to go. He's ready for this thing.
Oh yes, sir.
Taking a look at Joe Darnell. He's got a nice Menards paint scheme on the truck tonight. with a blue front end. That looks a little different. Looks good. Do you think he's a Ryan Blaney fan, any?
I don't think so, to be honest. I mean, can you tell with a scheme like that? That's definitely not a Ryan Blaney fan.
It's
not
hard,
at all.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
I mean, you know, maybe after watching Glenn, if you saw that race, I mean, he might end up being a Brad Keselowski fan.
Whew, that was a tough race for Brad, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely a tough race. It was a tough race for Penske overall.
Penske had a rough day overall because then they went to Nashville in the IndyCar race, and I think every one of the Penske cars got involved in an incident there as well.
Yeah, so. And Brad didn't do too well. He, on his farewell tour from Penske, he took out a teammate.
Rough go.
I'm about to say, where's Darrell with that? That's a teammate line. Oh, you gotta love it. But these guys still showing out here on track, and I mean, looking at a bunch of different guys. What are some guys that we mentioned a few earlier? But I mean, what are some guys you're keeping an eye on here in this practice session as we continue to roll along?
Well, Joe Darnell, we were just watching him. He's P4 in practice. Good to see him back up there towards the front. So Joe Darnell, Paul Irvin's usually top 3 in practice. Past few weeks, he's 6th in practice. Baines currently 9th in practice. That's who we're watching right now. So he's having a pretty good run. Where's our buddy in the 21? Litzenberger, 18th in practice. Okay, all right, just checking on him.
I'd say could be sandbagging again. We know his strategy.
Very possible. Very possible. We got Cowboy here. He's top 10 in practice, so really good practice times for him so far. At 19, Toyota looking sharp out there tonight.
Definitely, Matt Cochran. He's been building momentum, not necessarily here in NNR, but outside of NNR and other leagues, and he's looking to transition it here. He's had times where it looks like he could have speed to go up and battle for wins in the top 5. Definitely been a guy that I consider very aggressive when it comes to strategy. I mean, this type of a race could fall into his hands. We saw a few weeks ago in the Turn Down for What series, he ran fairly well there as well. So him coming over here into for the Truck Series, that could transition for him very well. He's already ran a good amount of practice in the past few weeks.
Yeah, and you touched on that strategy. So we're going to be seeing about 35 laps for a full tank of fuel, 140 lap race. They have 4 sets of tires in the pits, and the one they start, so 5 total sets of tires. So strategy, I think, is going to come into play with fuel and tires here later on in this race. And Cowboy not afraid to roll the dice when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot of times. Unfortunately, he hasn't hit the jackpot, but, never say never. Expect him to be definitely a threat whenever it comes to the later part of this race, especially if strategy does come into play.
Yeah, definitely be one to look out for. Looking at Drew Trader here, him and Nick Trader are both running these black and green Alien Racing Club 18th anniversary paint schemes tonight. Very cool looking scheme. Drew not showing the raw speed that we've seen out of him in practice. Currently 21st on the sheet. But look for him to be fast later on tonight, especially qualifying and in the race.
Yeah, definitely. This does not seem like the usual one-line to the zone motorsport that we've seen over the past few weeks. Kind of hitting a hump, it looks like, in practice. Let's see if that can change, though, in qualifying and during the race. See if they can try to put something together to try to get those cars back to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, I bet those conversations right now between the brothers Trader are, how do we get faster? What are these guys doing to get us faster? Or maybe they know that, like Cowboy touched on in chat, maybe they know that most of these laps have been drafting laps and they're working on single car speed. They know they're going to draft just fine and they're just working on single car runs.
And that could definitely be a possibility with these guys here. Definitely trying to get every bit of advantage that they can. You can't blame them one bit for it.
Lednum's got Dale Jr. looking paint scheme on his Ford tonight. Got Filter Time on there. Got Whiskey River on there. Which reminds me, it's about time to change the filter here in my house. But so thank you to the 37 truck. Here's P2 in practice right now, the 44 of Ray Lane. Ray had a lot of speed last week at Pocono. Unfortunately got caught up in some incidents. And looks like that speed carries over here tonight to Chicagoland.
Definitely, but a lot of these guys, they're coming off of the track here. About to be starting our drivers meeting here. A lot of guys heading to General, and you know what that means. It's a weekly thing. Go ahead and take it away, Blair.
Are we gonna run that hype video?
We're gonna run the hype video.
Love that hype video. Let's do it. Wow, X-Ray, did you see that at the end there? It now says, now back to our great broadcasters.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Definitely thankful to those guys over at NNR, especially Mr. Coey for putting that together. Every week these guys help make us look good. I gotta say that. I mean, it's not about us up here in the booth. These guys really put on a show and make us look good up here.
Yeah, absolutely. These drivers do such a good job week in and week out with this racing, and how clean they race, and how much fun they're having. You can just tell by the race in action, and then those videos that they get out there every week. Man, they're awesome.
Definitely. And what I will say for a lot of these guys out here is that, you know, that we've seen steady improvements by a lot of these guys. We love watching these guys get better week in and week out. And we've seen that a lot so far this season. And, I mean, just seeing how these guys have developed, helping each other, putting on a great series. And also, somebody we didn't give a shout-out to, and we might need to before we get fired, the guys at One Mind to Design. We talk about the skill of these drivers getting better and, you know, making us look good every week and them putting on a great show. Well, I mean, they got to have somebody that makes their cars look good. And, I mean, One Mind to Design, the sponsor of NNR, has done a great job making amazing paint schemes week in and week out for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, we'll see as we get later into tonight. We'll see some of these guys with some different paint schemes on there. We've already touched on Nick and Drew Trader. Got different paint schemes on there tonight. So we'll see a couple of different paint schemes. I saw the 17 in practice in Meredith. He had a different paint scheme on there. So we're going to see a lot of fun here.
Definitely, and with all these guys out here on track, about 10 minutes left in practice until we get to the real fun of qualifying. And then, of course, we get the good old picks.
Ooh, the picks. I forgot about the picks.
The picks.
Oh, jeez.
About to say, who we going to owe fudge M&Ms to this week?
Ooh, that's tough. I haven't thought about these picks yet. Right,
we need to add the fudge M&Ms to the budget, by the way.
We really do. If anybody from One Mind to Design, the great sponsors of this league, is listening right now or watching, we would love some fudge brownie M&Ms in the booth.
Yeah, and also for the guys that well, you're on camera with one right now in that Target scheme. He's owed a few bags from you yourself, my friend.
Yeah. We'll get those from the sponsors.
Trey out there subscribed with Prime there, now subscribed for 2 months. Thank you very much. And right here, 11 viewers out there in chat. Thank you for tuning in once again here on the XR Network. Keep it here. We're only 8 minutes away from qualifying, and then, of course, after qualifying, we'll get underway with the green flag action here from Chicagoland. If you're new and haven't been on the channel, be sure to drop a follow and join the expert racing community. Also, going to put the link out here in chat. Be sure to check out our good old buddy Blair up here in the booth with us here. Go check him out on his Facebook page. You'll catch all of his great streaming action as well. But of course, with these guys out here on track, getting these final few laps in, is this the time we're expecting these guys to start running these qualifying laps, getting ready for those for that little qualifying one?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these guys are going to be getting in qualifying trim. So what they're going to be doing for qualifying trim on these fixed setup kind of races, they'll be probably adjusting their steering ratio. Probably go to a quicker steering ratio, a lower number on that, just to have a better response on the steering wheel. Looks like we're having some audio difficulties here.
Let's see. What's going on that side?
We've lost audio here. We're going to go back to the hype video while I try to work this. Give me just 1 second. Well, now that we just did the hype video again and it said great broadcasters and we had a technical difficulty, I think we're going to be looking for some great broadcasters for next week. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. We lost sound there.
That job security is just...
Dancing on thin ice we are tonight, expert. Dancing on thin ice.
I'd say when I said I wanted to go ice fishing, this is not what I meant.
Oh. Well, I took it the wrong way. I apologize. Apologize to all the viewers out there on Twitch. But I think we got it up and running. Everything sounds good on my end, so should be sounding good on your end.
Hopefully. These guys out here in chat, NNR Cowboy saying, have fun, broadcast booth, and all fans watching. Hope we put a great race on for y'all. And then Drew Trader out there saying, let's do this. So you can see excitement from the drivers out there that are here in chat as well. A lot of fun for these guys as practice winds down. Just now hitting 5 minutes left.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go here in practice. We're looking at Nick Vroman here in practice. Currently the fastest one here at Chicagoland Speedway. Taking a look to see if we got any big shakes up here in the top 5, top 10. Everything seems to be staying pretty steady up here for right now.
And right now with these guys, they're just trying to get these final few laps in. But of course, one thing I like to see, and we're seeing it with the 88 right there, a lot of these guys really are trying to learn other drivers on track. A lot of guys I've noticed in the practice sessions over the past few weeks, following in the line of Vroman, trying to see what he's doing. A learning experience for a lot of guys right now. What's your advice to some of these guys who may not be the fastest on track, but are still trying to improve every single week? We've seen a good bit of improvement in the league as a whole, but what's your advice to those guys who are still trying to get better and take that transition?
Just like anything else, man. iRacing, learning how to play an instrument, any of those things in life, man. It's just all about practice. It's all about reps, and it's all about quality practice. So, you look at these guys on the One Mindset Design team. Nick Trader being super fast. James Shanewolf, the racer too that he ran with, is super fast. Drew Trader showing a lot of speed. You know, try. My advice would be try to get in some practice with those guys. If you could get a practice in with Vroman and just have him show you the lines and show you the ways and you know where he's lifting to get into the corner, where he's turning into the corner, when he's getting back on the throttle, all those kinds of things. It's just all about practice, all about reps, and like you touched on a minute ago, it's really starting to pay off for some of these guys. We're starting to see some of these guys get really, really fast in this league.
Oh, definitely. And talking about the experience these guys are getting, there's also somebody in chat that's asking about your experience. Racing Fan Zero saying good luck to all the racers and broadcasters. And hey, don't forget, they want to hear about your pit crew experience and your career when you were on a pit crew team. So, I mean, Blair, give us a little biography or autobiography, should I say, about your pit crew career.
All right, yeah. So since you asked about it, I'll go ahead and tell you. I worked on the NASCAR circuit for 10 years. Worked with drivers like Brendan Gaughan, Matt Kenseth, Carl Edwards, Eric Darnell, just to name a few. I was a jackman on the pit crew for 10 years, and had a lot of fun. Got to travel the country. Got to go to all these racetracks that we see here on Monday nights, and got 9 wins in the now it's the Xfinity Series. Back then it was the Nationwide and Busch Series. So got nine career wins. So there's a brief synopsis for you.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask because you got me curious. What was your through a great career of moments? I'm sure you mentioned the multiple wins. Which one is your favorite overall? I just gotta ask.
You'll never forget your first, for sure, which was California 2007 with Matt Kenseth. So that was a really, really great win. Then one that I really enjoyed was Milwaukee in 2008 with Carl Edwards. So 2007, Carl won the championship. 2008, we didn't start off very strong. You know, we were predicted to be back-to-back championship contenders, and we started off pretty poorly. Milwaukee was about halfway through the season. We had no wins yet. That's my hometown track. You know, guys I went to high school with were over in the stands, and we ended up getting a really good pit stop right at the end. We beat everybody off pit road. We were racing Clint Boyer that day, and beat them off pit road, and we got the win. That was a really, really fun one.
Well, definitely. I mean, you know, you listed 2 great moments right there, and I mean, you talked about like your long list of experiences and you know the fun you had with that pit crew style experience and being able to have a job in NASCAR. A lot of these guys would dream of an opportunity such as that. So when it comes to the sport of NASCAR, go ahead, just give some of these guys that are dreaming about that type of career path. How did you get into it?
Man,
necessarily.
I got really lucky, to be honest, and it was a lot of right place, right time kind of stuff. But I moved down here to North Carolina to work on race cars, and that's what I wanted to do. So I came down here to do it. Volunteered at a couple race shops. Just to get my foot in the door. So I was volunteering at a race shop. One of the drivers, Lance Hooper, quit that race team, and my paying gig, I worked at a gas station. And Lance Hooper comes into the gas station one day and says, "Hey man, aren't you the guy that used to volunteer over here?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I just quit that race team. I started my own team. We're going to Kansas in like 2 weeks. You ready to go with me or what?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." So I was literally ringing him up, his, you know, scanning his Diet Mountain Dew there or whatever, you know, and that's how it happened. And then that turned into a 10-year career.
Well, you talk about, you know, being fortunate. I guess that's as fortunate as you can get. But these guys now in qualifying, God, that story was better than I expected.
Yeah, it's right place, right time. I mean, if you want to be in racing, you got to move here to North Carolina, and Go volunteer for some shops, man. Work for free for a little while just to meet some people, get to know some people. You know, it's all about who you know, making connections, and that's the big thing.
Certainly. Well, of course, you mentioning that, let's switch back over here to qualifying. Some of these guys out here on track putting down some laps. You just switched the camera over to Mr. Josh Arnold taking his lap, and the graphic wants to mess with us.
Yeah, it's fighting with us this week. But we got Quimby on the top of the sheet now, 31-141 for quick time. And Robertson just went to the top of the sheet now. A lot of shakeup here at the top. Nick Trader coming in at P2 on his time. No surprise there. No surprise on Ed Robertson being on the pole.
And right now, these guys still running through qualifying, trying to get laps in. And right there, Robertson, you mentioned on pole, Nick Trader right behind him. A lot of guys still yet to go out. Irvin, Cowboy, Coey, Carroll, Drew Trader, Boehner, Boone, all guys we have yet to see take a lap here.
Yeah, still a lot of fast guys to get out here. We got Nick Vroman putting down his fast lap right now. And it's fast enough. 31.023 edges Robertson by 6/100ths of a second thereabouts. So currently Vroman on the pole. Still some fast guys to go yet. Taking a look at Lednam here in the 37. Currently 17th on the sheet. Paul Irvin's made it out on track. Puts him P4. Boone up there to P9. Drew Trader P17. Got Cowboy here now in the 19. Ooh, good run for Cowboy. Puts in P8.
And he moved up the charts really well. And right now, looking at these qualifying laps, only about 0.3 separating the entire field. So I mean, not a big gap at all.
Man, that's close. Tyndall, he was top 10 in practice most of the day. Currently 15th in qualifying, so qualifying didn't go his way. Looks like Grandpa Coey and Carroll are going to opt out of qualifying today. Haven't seen either of them put down a lap yet.
Yeah, and right now with only 10 seconds left, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But with the drum roll, it is pick time.
Pick time.
Pick time. Okay. You picked first last week. I think it's only fair I take the first, Jeans.
Please do.
So, somebody I'm looking out here for today, it being Chicagoland, is somebody that I talked about has experience here. Actually has experience on my esports team with Expert Racing Esports. And I talked about him a little bit in practice. And you know what? I think with a track like this, strategy rules.
Okay.
I'm looking at the 19 of Mr. Matt Cochran, a.k.a. Cowboy. I really like the, I don't know, it's just a gut feeling I have that 19 is going to find a way to get up to the front here today.
Man, that's a really, really strong pick, Expert. I really like your pick. I like your pick a lot. You know, qualified 8th, one of the best qualifying runs we've seen out of him in a while. Could be his best of the season. And, you know, strategy, he's really good at it. So that's a really good pick.
I think it's going to be the winner. But I mean, you of course you have your experience here as well, and you've done a great job picking some talented guys over the season. So go ahead. Who do you think? Who do you think is going to be our victory lane leader today?
Well, I I want to pick the 95, but I'm trying to think of a reason not to pick the 95. But here's what I keep thinking about every time I think about the 95. It seems like every single time we interview Nicholas Vroom Vroom Vroman, he talks to us about clean air and how clean air was the key to the win. He said that after California. You know, we've heard him say it so many times that the clean air was the key to the win. And him being on the pole right now and having a chance to get in this clean air, whew.
And it's, I mean, definitely these guys. It's going to be it's going to be a great overall race. You mentioned it right there. And well, I'm getting a call in Discord randomly.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on the air.
Welcome to Expert Racing Radio. Here live with the NNR.
This broadcast has turned into a podcast that turned into taking callers.
Imagine that mid-race, just Fox Sports taking a call. Oh God, that would be horrible.
Yeah, just call in at 1-800-EXPERT-NETWORK. That's Expert Net. 1-800-EXPERT-NET.
See, with most people not having the not knowing the buttons of those old school phones, it's not really on these new you know, these new like iPhones and Androids and stuff like that, where it's just touchscreen. But those old phones, when you text and you had to type the same button multiple times just to get the letter you wanted.
Oh yeah.
Not many people would remember that.
No, you're right about that. Well, I'm gonna have to quit playing Snake because it looks like we're getting ready to go green flag here. Base car down here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, these guys getting set up. We're waiting for that pace track to pull off, and I'm extremely excited. Look, we've talked about how wild this track can be, and I mean, I'm ready for it. These guys have really gave us a show up to this point this season, and here we go, boogity, boogity, boogie, in the Windy City. Let's go racing, boy.
Green flag in the air. Great start by everybody. Vroman doesn't get that huge restart like we've seen out of him in other tracks, but he does get well enough to clear his way through both lines here.
Yeah, and a little help from Nick Trader here, but here comes that 56, and surprise, surprise about who we have in 1 and 2 to start this race. But these guys, I feel like it's going to be a wild start. You see Nick Trader already trying to use other lines, trying to get a little bit higher to build up a run, and here he goes already on the attack to the bottom, side by side. The 95 barely able to lead that lap, but the 56 is going to have the preferred line entering the one.
Yeah, 56 has got that bottom line. 95, let's see what kind of momentum the top side has here early on. Looking pretty good as they go neck and neck down the back straightaway. 95 on the top, 56 on the bottom.
And right here, that 95, he's more in the long run preferred line. Holding that bottom. Oh, 56 almost slides up, forcing a check up out of both of those gentlemen up there in the front. And right here, you can see the 9 and 64 behind them waiting to strike, 18 waiting in the wings as well.
And that was really close down there in 3 and 4. 95 came down a little bit. 56 came up a little bit. Those boys got close, I tell you.
And right now, the 56 starting to lose that momentum there on the bottom side. The high side just has too many cars attached to it. So right now, that high side looking to get the momentum. Here comes Robertson challenging for P2.
Now Robertson's got that high side working in that 64 machine. We've seen Ed be super fast so far this year. Good to see him keeping it up.
Definitely, and you can see all these guys trying to push to the top side now. Here comes the 18 now on the 56. The 9 looking to find a gap, but the 56, he may try to move up. He cannot afford to drop all these positions.
Yeah, 56 needs to try a different line here. He tried that bottom there. It was quick. It wasn't quick enough. He's definitely falling back right now, so he needs to move up, get in line, regroup, rethink, and get back on the attack.
And right now, all these guys now shifting to the bottom. The top two of Robertson and Vroman both taking the bottom there in 1 and 2. Let's see their attempts here in 3 and 4.
Looks like the 95's back to the bottom here, 3 and 4. Gets all the way out here to the wall, takes the apron down the front stretch. All this racing room here at Chicagoland, you can drive anywhere you want to drive. Anywhere you can find grip, it's all illegal here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, and these guys all over the place trying to make moves already. You can see back here behind them, the 9 of Paul Irvin going on the attack of the 56.
Yeah, Paul getting down here to the inside. He's trying the bottom side on the 56. 56 was trying the bottom earlier, wasn't working for him. He's moved up, like we said. Let's see if this 9's got anything for the 56 on the bottom.
Right now, that 56 battling up top, and right now, we talked about it being a multi-group track, but the high line with the draft was just so dominant on Nick Trader trying to make a move around Roman. What do you have to do to try to battle that type of draft in pack style racing?
It looked like the top side was running really, really well. It also looked like they were a little bit loose. So I don't know if the bottom side was a little bit tight and they had to get out of the throttle a little bit, because that top side, they looked like they were stepping out just a little bit. So be interesting to see how this goes as the race goes on.
And now down the back straightaway, you can see all these guys now running single file. This is that part in the run where a lot of these guys, they may just be okay with dropping them up to this point. We talked about 35 laps on fuel. Not really anybody looking to make moves now and challenging up here in the front. Of course, that can be different in the back of the pack. Let's go back to the 19 of Cowboy and see if we can see where he's at back there in the back of the pack. You can see right now running about P9 just inside the top 10, and the back half of this, 16 of Bain and the 88 of Tyndall right behind him, the 22 of Arnold just in front.
Yeah, a whole lot of fast trucks right here, a whole lot of fast drivers. These guys are lined up, logging laps right now, feeling their trucks out, trying the high side, trying the low side, seeing what's going to work best for them for later on when they need to make a run to the checkers.
And right now you can see through the back of the pack here, 3 wide in the pack behind them. Those guys really battling it out for position out there behind them. But right now you can see the 16 of Bain able to get around the 19. The 88 looking to go on the attack. And right now, go ahead. Sorry about that.
I was just going to say the 88 of Tyndall, he's working the top side. He's seen this top side working so far. Cowboys holding the bottom really well. Tyndall says, hey, I'll take this spot from you, but I'm going to try on the top side.
And right now, looking at Cowboy, not sure if he's facing, 88 in the wall.
88 in the wall. Got some damage there on the right side.
Right there, it just looked like he didn't want to turn on entry, but that's going to be a break for the 19. However, as I mentioned before, it looks like the 19, he's not going full pace, it looks like. It seems like he's about 5 miles per hour slower than the guys around him. He's getting caught pretty easily. And whenever you look at his overall pace compared to the guys around him, it looks like, we talked about him being good at strategy, it looks like he may be in an extreme conserve mode to this point. So is there a chance that these guys could save a pit stop by pulling a strategy like this?
I don't know if you're going to be able to save a full stop. The good thing is I think you're going to be saving tires. So you're going to close down that delta at the end of the run between really old, worked hard tires and nicely conserved tires. So Cowboy's still doing a good job. He's hanging on here in 11th. He's only lost 3 spots since the green flags dropped. But if he's just chilling out, conserving fuel, conserving tires, you know, you picked him because he likes to gamble on his strategy. This might be playing into his strategy really well.
And you're exactly right. These guys doing a great job up to this point. A battle behind them, though. I want to go back to the 33 of Ryan Shiro. The guys behind him, the 81 of Horn, the 77 of McQuaid, and I believe that might be the 38, correct me if I'm wrong, of Boone.
that silver truck back there, that's the 36 of Quimby.
Oh, yeah, Quimby.
Yep.
Thank you. I was about to say, I couldn't really get to see the number, but there I see it on the telemetry. Yep, Quimby back there as well, and it looks like, correct me once again, a Kevin Harvick throwback?
I believe that is a Harvick throwback. Let's take a closer look at this thing. Let's go to TV1, zoom in on this thing a little bit. Got Snap-on, we got GM Goodwrench, we got the Quick Lube Plus. Ooh.
We know it's one of two drivers. It's Harvick or Senior, and I do not believe I've ever seen Senior run a white Goodwrench scheme.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Senior. I see the Burger King on the side right there. There's Burger King on the lower quarter panel. But this view right here, got Senior right on the deck lid.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, definitely, let's go with Senior.
We're going with Senior.
Oh, yeah, well, it's more, I'm seeing it as more of a white tint. You're seeing it as silver. So that makes sense. He's definitely run a silver Goodwrench scheme, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that was an all-star paint scheme, if I remember right.
I believe so. I believe you are correct. Back here with Trivia with Expert.
Trivia time with Expert.
That's like a weekly thing now. We just need to make it official.
We really do.
But right now, these guys still battling, and we talked about that beautiful scheme. Well, unfortunately, that beautiful scheme is on the attack by the 77 of McQuaid and the 25 of Drew Trader. These guys going on the attack now, trying to get around him. This is going to be the battle for P15 at the moment.
These guys are getting it on back here. You got Drew Trader. Didn't show a lot of speed in practice, didn't show a lot of speed in qualifying, but he's doing pretty good in the race. He's working his way up. He's up 2 spots already. Going to work on McQuaid for another.
And right now, let's go ahead and see if we can't find another group of drivers to look around. Let's see. Let's go back and check out one of the guys that did not qualify. Let's go and take a look at Grandpa Coey back here in the. Let's go take a look at him in that beautiful 24 scheme.
Coey having an okay run. He's currently running 28th. Didn't qualify. Up 4 spots. He's past Tyndall, who we saw got in the wall there. But hanging on to it right here. 28th for the number 24.
And right now, the 19 talking about incident around him. He's in a tight battle right now as he's in between the 84 and 33.
These guys are going to be glancing 3 wide here some point soon, it looks like. 19 looks like he's going to the high side. 84 might come up. And it's not exactly a block, but, getting the corner entry where he wants it. Good racing going on there.
Almost certainly these guys all heading down the back straightaway. And right now, I mean, you talk about great talent in this league. Just these guys being able to give us this close, tight action between all these guys and be able to run it clean definitely shows how impressive these NNR guys have. A lot of these guys didn't even get iRacing or was racing here on iRacing until the 11-week season, just 2 weeks previous before the start of this actual 22-week season. So that just lets you know how quickly these guys have been able to develop and get better to be able to get to this point. Just a great overall job by the guys at NNR.
Yeah, definitely some quick studies here. Coming over to the PC side on iRacing from the console side, so doing a great job learning this racing. It's a little bit different racing than what the NASCAR Heat guys are used to. Man, that 25 of Trader getting really close to the back of Quimby right there.
right now. As these guys continue to battle, though, let's catch back up with our leaders and take a look at Vroman, who he has seemingly pulled out another gap. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, there's Roman there. Got a little bit of gap over Ed in the 64. Robertson. Anasagok not too far off the back of the 64 Robertson. But Roman's got a pretty decent lead right here. We're coming within about 10 laps on what we're thinking on a fuel run. So might be seeing some green flag stops here pretty soon.
Definitely, and right now, as these guys continue to run around here, let's go ahead and go on board. Let's see, let's go on board with Anasagok in that beautiful target scheme and take a lap around Chicagoland this time by.
Sounds awesome. Let's do it. Really working that throttle down there in the corners as he goes to the inside of Robertson. Challenging for P2. Clears him off of 3 and 4.
And definitely right now, I mean, a great overall battle, and the 64 looking to challenge him once again.
Yeah, 64 just bringing it right back there to him.
And these guys for a long race. We talked about the pit strategy could be coming up soon. What is your idea? What is better for you? Are you looking to pull the short pit strategy, or is it more of a long run gain here at Chicagoland that we could expect for a lot of these guys?
So I think this first stop here, I would run as long as possible. On this first stop, I'd run all the fuel out of the truck, and then from there start the short pitting strategy. I want to be the first guy on the last pit stop to get my tires. I want to be the first one to get my tires on the last stop. So I'd go long here just to make sure that I, could get max fuel load and then kind of shorten it up from there.
And right now you can see all these guys getting set up. What is the biggest danger for pit road here? We know it could be a very dangerous one to get on. It's a very tight turn there on the pit road. So how do you have to take that entry?
You got to just be really ready for it. You got to start preparing for your pit entry as soon as you come off of turn 2. Hopefully you practiced it a little bit with your brake bias, because you don't use a whole lot of brake here at Chicago except super late in the run. You might just do a little trail braking, just drag it into the corner. But getting on pit road, it's a really tight radius to get on pit road here at Chicago. And coming off the banking, you don't want to get the truck too upset when you hit the flat with the apron. Get on those brakes nice and smooth, get it woed down to pit road speed.
And I mean, you said it yourself right there. And right now, right as you say that, the 15 calling his shot, he's going to be fitting in this time by. So that's going to be the first of hopefully definitely the entire field that's going to be heading down pit road. He's going to go ahead and open up the door to strategy here on lap 32.
Yeah, so it sounds like Shiro's going to be working that short pit action. As you see him coming in right here. He's going to be working the short pit action, where some of these guys are going to be going a little bit longer. Now, if you're a guy like Tyndall that has a little bit of damage, short pit this thing, try to get as much as that damage fixed. You're not going to stop and wait because it's green flag racing, but try to get as much of it fixed as you can.
And right now you're seeing it as these guys continue to press on. Nick Trader now coming back on the attack with Robertson. So he's looking to move back into the top 3 as we head into this part of the run. And Nick Trader has always been one of the guys that seems to get better as the run goes along.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got awesome long run speed. We're seeing it come on right now. Taking a look at our Shiro back here in 13th. These guys should be hitting pit road here shortly. Working lap 34. Roman's on pit road. Anasagak on pit road. Ray Lane staying out.
I believe the whole top 5 just came down pit road.
Yeah, whole top 5 just came. Ray Lane staying out for another lap. Probably be seeing him come this time. Litzenberger staying out as well. Your pick Cochran still out there.
Yeah, and a lot of guys, I'm just hearing the radio fire up for a lot of these guys. They are all heading in, and you're exactly correct. The 44 just called that he's heading down, and now here comes the 19 and 25, both saying they're heading to pit road this time by.
'25 just gets around the 19. Good job getting on pit road by Drew Trader. Cole Snyder still out here in that 99 truck.
And right now, all these guys heading down pit road, getting their service. It's going to be interesting to see. I assume the 95 will still cycle out to the lead, but a lot of these guys, it's going to be a big question on who will cycle out behind him. How will the field shake out?
Yeah, it looks like Vroman's going to be taking the lead back this time by. Leading the pack of guys at pit. Looking like Vroman, Robertson, Trader. Roman did a great job getting on and off pit road. He's got about a 2.5 second gap over Robertson and P2 right now.
And right now, as these guys continue on, heading into, we're nearing about a quarter way through this race. I'd say my math is not the best. My math is but we're nearing about a quarter way through this race. And as these guys start working through these laps here on this long green flag run, caution free up to this point. Got to give it up to the guys at NNR, but as these guys continue this long run, you definitely have to give props once again to Vroman. He's looking to make it 5 wins, I believe, this season.
Man, he's out there leading the way. Got about a 3-second lead over Robertson. So he's looking strong up here. That's for sure.
I mean, you just have to give credit where credit is due. He has done an amazing job coming in here. And being the points leader, this is probably the best position he could be in.
Yeah, and man, I'm trying to remember the name of trying to remember which team he had his name on the side of in the real race. Was that Levine Motorsports?
It may have been. I'm not too sure.
But he had his name on a real stock car. I think it was at Bristol, if I remember correctly. Next time we interview him, we're going to have to ask him about that. Speaking of real-life racing.
About to say we need to get the scoop on this.
Yeah, we're going to need to get the scoop next time we talk to him.
But right now, these guys are going to keep it rolling here on track. Looking at the gap between him and second place, he is split nearly a 3-second gap to Robertson, currently sitting right now at 2.7.
Yeah, just a huge lead right now. About 100 laps to go in this thing, so everything's going the right way for the 95 so far.
And we haven't talked about him yet. Let's go back to our old buddy, the 21 of Litzenberger. We talked about him being 18th in practice, you know, being back to mid-pack or whatnot. He's now in the top 10 up to 8th place.
Oh, yeah. So he was struggling in practice here today in that 21 Ford, but had a pretty good qualifying run, qualified 9th, and up here running 8th. So having a good run for Litzenberger here in P8 so far today.
And our biggest mover, I believe, is Mr. T. Shiro, up 13 spots to P15.
Yeah, a little bit different paint scheme. I got the Jayco scheme on here, this blue and white Jayco scheme. Up 13 spots, like you just said. Looking good. Moving on up, right in front of your pick, Cowboy.
And right now, he's doing a great job overall. Definitely, you know, picking up all the spots he needed to. He's done a great job up to this point.
I love it when guys' wheels match their paint schemes. Got the white wheels matching the white on that paint scheme. That thing looks good.
What is that, a pet peeve for you if the wheels don't match?
Well, I mean, if it was like, if he had orange wheels on that truck, that would be aggravating to me. Because there's no orange anywhere else on the entire truck, you know what I'm saying?
See, I'm more of a fan of dark schemes, but I definitely do not mind the white.
No, that looks good. That one looks really good.
I'm about to say, just gives more and more credit to the guys that want mine to the side.
Yeah, absolutely, man. As he's getting challenged by Cowboy here in that 19 truck. Cowboy going to the bottom side. He's going to clear him up off the corner here.
And right now, Cowboy able to pick up the spot there. He was with the later group to pitting about a lap or two after the leaders. So a lap or two fresher tires. We're about to see how much of a difference that can make. He qualified 8th, running currently P15 as he tries to march his way back to the top 10.
He's definitely making up some ground now on those fresher tires. We saw him go around Shiro, and Shiro's nothing but a dream to him right now. He's pulled away from him quite a bit as he goes to work on McQuaid, next one ahead of him.
And right now, as these guys continue to run, I'm going to give a rundown of our top 10. Roman P1, Robertson P2, Nick Trader P3, Irvin P4, and Scott rounding out the top 5. Then it's Ray Lane, Bain, Litzenberger, Boone, and Drew Trader rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, Drew Trader having a good run, getting himself into the top 10 here. We talked about him not having the greatest of qualifying runs, not having the greatest of practice, but he's got himself in the top 10, having a really good run. We got quite the battle back here for P4. We got Anna Sagak, we got Ray Lane, we got Paul Irvin, we got Quimby, the lap down truck there on the top side.
And right now, as these guys continue to run, sorry, my voice is getting a little shaky. Been running the weather as of recently. Let me get something to drink real quick. I'll be right back.
There you go. Wash that down. We'll be here watching this great race in action as they get it all sorted out. Anna Sagak, then Irvin, then Lane. Right here, this is 4, 5, 6. Lane takes a look to the inside of Irvin.
And right now, about a third of the way through this race, got a little bit of Sprite to try to help out with that. But these guys continuing to run here about a third of the way through this race, just over that. And we're hitting that point in the race about 20 laps away from halfway itself. What's the mindset of a driver this early in the race, whether you're front, back, middle of the pack? What's the idea here for these guys as they continue to make laps here at Chicagoland?
Big thing these drivers are thinking about right now is they're looking at their tire wear. It's been about 15 laps since they pit, so they're going to look at their tire wear that first run, see what that looked like. See if there's any adjustments to their driving style that they need to make. Do they need to slow down their entry to the corner or save that right front a little bit because it's wearing too much? Do they need to wait on getting on the gas a little bit because that right rear is wearing too much? So that's one of the big things the drivers are looking at. Then the next thing is, okay, well, based on that information, based on my driving style, when do I need to pit again? When is the optimal for me to pit?
And I mean that's definitely been an idea. We've seen the strategy overall so far. Of course, we're still waiting for it to fully work itself out, but at this point, we've seen the strategy work out, and we're going to be nearing about around that halfway point is when we'll reach another pit strategy or another pit window around that time when guys start heading down, because around lap 70, 35 and 35, that seems to be the middle, if not stretching it a little bit for the pit strategy there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be right about the strategy is going to be right about halfway for another stop. So these drivers all know a couple more stops to get to the end here. Going to zoom way out so we can see the difference between Vroman and Robertson, the next truck back from them. So you guys can see what a 3-second lead looks like here at Chicagoland Speedway.
And we talk about, some guys whenever they're in a close battle that they have no room for error. I think the 95 could afford a mistake or two.
Yeah, as long as it's not too treacherous and getting up into that wall. These trucks are so aero dependent at this track. Like we saw Tyndall unfortunately get into the wall early on. He's lost a ton of positions. He's back into 30th. He was top 10 in practice all day long. Currently back in 30th now, so that's it's a huge hit when you get the wall here at Chicagoland.
And right now, talking about the upcoming races so far. Here, of course, at Chicagoland, you want to know what we should be excited for next week?
Let's see. Next week. What's next week? Next week. Bristol, baby. Is it Bristol?
Bristol! We got good old Bristol. We're going to be heading to Great Coliseum.
The last Great Coliseum, man. We're going to go from 1.5 miles. I love this schedule. These guys over here at NNR, they put on just such a good schedule, such a great league, great driving. I mean, heck, we did Watkins Glen, then we did Pocono, then we're here at Chicagoland tonight, then we're going short track racing at Bristol next week. This is a good schedule. These guys did an awesome job.
I'm about to say, talking about that, after that, we're heading to Charlotte. So, basically, if you want to talk about some good racing action, we saw how good Vegas was. Charlotte should be even better.
Yeah, Charlotte, a great track. It's one of the what I like to call starter tracks here on iRacing for stock cars. It's included in your subscription. You don't have to pay any extra for Charlotte. A lot of guys that want to do stock cars, they start out in the street stocks, and Charlotte, the 1.5 mile track. That's usually one of the first tracks guys cut their teeth at. At least that's how it worked out for me. That's where my first iRacing win came.
And right now, we're coming to this point in the race. These guys, of course, getting set up about 10 laps away from that pit stop. And as they're starting to run through the laps, I want to go back and see who the biggest mover is as of right now. It may have changed up, it looks like. I believe Corey Colby. No, not him. It may still be Shiro, it looks like, with 10 spots. Actually, no, it's going to be Coey, I believe.
Yeah, Coey moving his way on up. He missed qualifying for whatever reason, not too sure. Maybe that 24 didn't get through tech. Gonna have to have a chat with his crew chief later, see what's going on over here. Maybe had an L1 penalty. You never know. But he's working his way up through the pack, up to P23 now, putting together a solid race.
And right now, you gotta. I'm looking throughout the back of the pack, and it's shocking to see some of the guys back here. Carroll down 7 laps. Tyndall -2. Baynard -2. Ryan Shearer -1. Burt -1. Darnell -1. Quimby -1, and then Horn next guy on the lead lap as he's getting chased down by Burt.
Yeah, Horn, unfortunately, in that 81 machine, he's got heavy damage to the rear of this truck. As you can see here, that's the 95 of Roman, the leader, right there behind him. So 81 is in dire straits right here of losing a lap. Got a ton of damage on his truck. Unfortunately, we didn't catch the incident that got him all that damage, but it looks like the right side got up in the wall. Looks like somebody got in the back of him, but I haven't seen anybody with heavy nose damage, so not really sure what happened to the 81.
Definitely unfortunate, and a lot of these guys we expected to be fast. Darnell, one of the fastest in practice, and not sure what happened to him, but of course, not the best run for him. And looking at his truck, I don't see that much damage. That maybe a little bit on the right rear, it looks like, but I mean that's about all. Is that enough to affect that truck?
Yeah, he's got some damage there on the right rear. He's also got some on the right side as we get a little closer view of Darnell in this 12. So it's definitely slowing him down. He's lost a lot of pace here, unfortunately. But hopefully he can still salvage a good run. You know, I hate to say it, but maybe he can get a caution, get that thing fixed up a little bit better. But we've seen 64 laps of green flag racing. The trend of this race, get Larry? Larry says we're going green.
I'm about to say, Larry's still in the back room. He doesn't want to come on.
Yeah, Larry says we're running this thing green.
Green. Which, of course, if they do run it completely green, it'll just show how great these guys at NNR are. I mean, running a completely green race, I mean, that's a tough ask for any league to possibly do, and you know it doesn't get as much credit as it should to be able to run green completely through.
No, it really doesn't, especially having 31 drivers on this track. And you know, Chicago, I mean, you know, they say it's a mile and a half. Of course it is, right? They call it a cookie cutter track, but Chicago drives its own way. I mean, you can't just set your autopilot to your normal mile and a half like Charlotte or Kansas and just run it the same way. I mean, each of these mile and a halves have kind of their own attitude, kind of their own feel to it. And, you know, Chicago's a tough track to get around. You know, when we were riding along with Anasagak earlier, we heard how much throttle he was using to get down here through these corners. It's not just a hold her wide open and pray. I mean, it takes some driving.
And right now, as these guys continue to run, though, looking at our picks, given the update, I know Cowboys in 14th. Where's your pick at? Let's see. I'm looking at Cowboy. I know he's in 14th. So.
Let's see. Okay, Cowboy in 14th. Okay, not bad. Let's look way up here towards the front of the pack, and hey, there's the 95. Nicholas Roman leading this thing right now.
I was about to say, I was waiting for you to start bragging about it.
Yeah, you know. He's doing all the work. I'm just sitting here drinking water and watching a great race. He's doing all the hard work, all the heavy lifting, if you will. But, you know, like I said in pre-race, man, every time we interview Vroman, he talks about clean air being the key to his success. He's definitely got that. I mean, he's got some lap traffic that he's dealing with. You see that he's gotten around the 81 a horn. But definitely not enough to slow him down any. He's got that 95 setting sail.
And right now, a great job by him, definitely with that 95. And hey, we're in the pit window now for these guys. Lap 69 coming to 70, so the pit window is now open. Yeah, and right as I say that, the 73's calling that he's going in, same as the 77.
Yeah, and looks like Trader and Robertson are battling here for P2, and they've closed the gap on Vroman here. Vroman only has about a second and a half on these guys, so they've closed down about a full second on them. Top 3, 4 all come to pit road. Whoo, man, they got it woed down just in time.
And that was close for a lot of these guys.
Really close between the 56 and 64. 18 helping the 64 down pit road there. Ray Lane once again going to be staying out for an extra lap. Going to lead a lap. Last time he came 1 lap after the leaders. It looks like he's going to follow suit. And that takes us back to Cowboy, who stayed out the longest last time. So let's see what he does here. See how many more laps that 19 truck's going to stay out there. Current leader, though, Cole Snyder in this 99. And I'm not sure if the issue with trading paints is on my end or on Cole's end, but he usually has that really cool Cold Dog Motorsports paint scheme on that truck. You'll see kind of a basic iRacing paint scheme on there today, so not sure who's in that's on, so apologize to all the Cole Snyder fans out there not getting to see his normal paint scheme.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate. I have the Cold Dog scheme, so it just may be a problem with iRacing. I know that's been an issue as late as well, so maybe the scheme's not trying to load in for everybody today.
Oh, so you're seeing the Cold Dog scheme?
Yeah, I got the Cold Dog. Cold Dog scheme.
Must be on my end then. I apologize to everybody out there at Twitch. It looks like the 99 Cole Snyder bringing it down pit road.
You gotta love technical difficulties, don't you?
Ah, they're the best. That's what keeps it exciting.
Exactly, it's wonderful. Gotta keep ourselves on our toes.
That's right.
But right now, we talked about how this pit cycle could be very, very instrumental in these guys trying to go after this win. The 56 of Nick Trader, with the entry he got compared to the guys he was racing, the gap between him and Robertson, in which he was battling with, 4 seconds now. The difference in position, 3 seconds to Anna Sagat, and I mean, you talk about it's a 3 position gap between him and Robertson. Anna Sagat running for 3 seconds back, and he's only now about 1 second behind Nicholas Roman.
Yeah, that's an incredible job getting on and off pit road by the 56 of Trader. Shout out to him. Practicing that, getting really good at that. Made up a lot of time right there. Made up a lot of time not only on Vroman, our leader, but like you were talking about, he's gapped the guys he was racing with, which that's the best way to beat them when they're sitting still.
And right now, we talked about Vroman having to deal with certain elements in this race that could be detrimental to him. He's having to deal with a boatload of lap traffic right now.
Oh yeah, he's got a handful of it. Everybody on a little bit different tire strategy here. So he's got some guys like Cowboy that's on 2 lap fresher tires than he is. He's coming up on the 17 of Meredith. 22 of Josh Arnold. Getting ready to work those guys a lap down. Meredith running P20 right now. Cowboy there in the 19 is a lap down, so he's going to be working as hard as he can to get back around Vroman. If he was saving anything in that first stint, he's putting it all out there to stay on the lead lap right now.
Well, right now you can see the 56 trying to get through traffic. He got 2 tenths. Now make it 3 tenths there on Vroman while in this lap traffic.
Yeah, Vroman, he's got Cowboy just working that back bumper. Cowboy looking high, Cowboy looking low. Cowboy's wanting to get around him here. And I don't blame him. I'd be doing the same thing if I was wheeling that 19 machine. 17 doing a great job. Meredith running his line, which is costing Roman a little bit of time, which is letting Nick Trader catch up.
And what's unfortunate for Nick Trader, he is stuck behind. Carroll hasn't been able to find a way around him. But still gaining time, though. Gained another 10th that lap by. So right now, Roman in a very tough spot. He knows he's got to get aggressive soon. He's gone to the bottom of the 17, looking to try to get around him.
Now he's going to look to the inside here. Cowboy going to follow right along here in this 19 truck. Cowboy moves back to the top side. Now some guys like to stay up on the track here on the front straightaway, while other guys like to drop down to the apron. That is a complete driver preference and feel. Sometimes that transition getting onto the apron upsets your truck.
Whoa, 95 got a little bit loose there under the 19.
Hanging on to it. 19 gets around him, gets his lap back.
And this is the last thing that 95 wanted to see, because you like cue the Jaws theme. Where's Tony Stewart or Clint Boyer with a here, kitty, kitty, kitty? The 56 is catching him right now at a huge rate. That's another 10th of last lap by, only 6/10, nearly half a second back now.
Yeah, 56 has cleared Carroll. So it is Roman and Trader going to be going at it here shortly. But Roman's got a lot of really fast lap traffic in front of him.
And right now, you know, Roman, he's been using up his tires trying to get by these guys. And now he's going to take the third line, it being the high side. He's going to go up top to try to get around these guys. And right now, that 19 on the bottom, he is not giving an inch. Now he's going to have to yield the position, but that 95 still, with trucks in front of him, nowhere to go.
Yeah, it puts us right back in the position we were about 3-4 laps ago. You know, that 19, he's not going anywhere. He shoots it down the inside. Let's see if he takes it all the way to the apron this time. He does not. But, man alive, this is about to turn into a great battle for the lead as Roman's trying to get around these lap trucks.
Near 3 wide with these drivers right now. It is getting extremely tight here for Roman. Near 4 wide as Cowboy tried to look to the inside of the 17.
Man, this is a spot that I do not envy. Leading the race, 82 laps into this thing, running 3 wide, trying to pass lap trucks or put them a lap down. These guys are on the tail end of the lead lap here.
And right here, there's the 95. He thought he had a lane right there to get about 17. Now moving to the high side to see if he has a lane. And now he may be able to clear through this lap traffic. Now going to be Nick Trader's turn. And let's see, since these guys are a lap down, will they give him an easier time?
I don't think so. I don't expect any lifting from Cowboy or Meredith for Trader to get by here. Those guys are racing for position, which is the lucky dog position as well, if a caution were to come back out. So I don't expect the 19 or the 17 to be giving anything to Nick Trader right here. Trader working the low side, trying to get around the 73 of Burt. Looks like he's got to clear him here on the front stretch. 73's got a lot of damage on the right side, but he's had really good pace here, as we've seen. Cowboy's gotten around Meredith.
And right now, he's back to the back bumper of this 95. I would not be surprised to see him give a challenge.
Cowboy hanging on to this lucky dog position. Shiro, that's for position as well. In that 15 machine. We saw him a little bit earlier in that white and blue 15. And Nick Trader's got to figure out how to get through these guys that are racing for position.
And here comes Cowboy back to the bottom.
Cowboy shooting it in on the bottom, trying to get his lap back the hard way. 95 top, 19 bottom. 19's got a really good run here.
Here comes that 95, trying to fight back on the top side though.
Now, I'll tell you what, Cowboy is battling for everything he can to stay on this lead lap.
And see, I thought this was going to be the battle for the lead, but I mean, we talk about how strong these guys could be. You're obviously seeing it with Cowboy, and here comes over by the 95. Now he takes the bottom.
19 looks like he's got a little bit of advantage on the top side here. Gonna clear him off the corner.
Atlanta Racing out there in chat just noticing it, rating with a party of 4. Thank you very much, Atlanta. Thank you so very much. A true pioneer in our industry of esports commentary, especially here on iRacing. A huge mentor to me. Thank you for the raid, my friend. Hope you enjoy.
Now seating Atlanta Racing, party of 4. Atlanta Racing, party of 4.
Oh Lordy, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love old Atlanta out there as well. Definitely a great broadcaster. After tonight's action, be sure to go and follow him. Take a look at everything that he does over there, especially with the guys at PSES. Definitely a great broadcaster in himself. Basically helped teach me alongside Repeat. Him and Pete kind of got me to this point. Very thankful to them.
I can't wait till we see Pete out here racing again. Miss seeing him out here, that's for sure.
Definitely missing Pete a lot.
But this gap, you know, it's only about a second gap between these two right now. And Roman still has a lot of lap traffic to deal with. As we get back up here, he's working over the 44 Ray Lane, who's a lap down. Unfortunately, the 44 got into the wall a little bit earlier. He's got some damage on that truck, which he's got some pace, man. He's got some pace. He's hanging right there with Cowboy, hanging right there with Roman.
And right now, this could be another spot in which Roman could lose a bunch of time as Nick Trader slowly gains back that time, and he's getting back into the picture.
Yeah, Roman and Cowboy right here going back at it again, taking a look at each other. I mean, this is a battle for last truck on the lead lap, and Cowboy is doing everything he can to stay ahead of Nick Roman. So shout out to Cowboy, having huge pace right now. Shiro 33, speaking of huge pace, look at him shoot to the outside of the 95 like he's standing still. That's the difference in new tires right there. 33 of Shiro gets a huge run, clears both of them, no problemo.
And right there, that 95 looking to try to use that though on corner entry, trying to get that high side. Here comes the 95, a huge shot to the outside.
Yeah, he caught that draft off the 33, really helped him out a lot on the speed, and set up his corner entry really well. Now here, we talked about the battle with Nick Trader and getting through the lap traffic. So now right here, I think if Nick Trader gets to the tailgate of Cowboy, I think Cowboy's going to let him go. Cowboy's no longer battling for position. He's got the lucky duck position right here. Now, he's not going to pull over and stop, but I don't think he's going to fight Trader too much.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't see Cowboy giving up much fight to Nick Trader. The question, though, is what are the tires like for both Roman and Trader? Did Trader have an easier time getting through traffic? Did Roman eat up his tires having a battle with some of these guys?
Yeah.
And right there, the 19 calling it on the radio, asking Nick Trader what line does he want, so he's just going to let him by.
That's some really good sportsmanship right there. He knows that he's gotten to him. He's going to give him the line that he prefers. There goes Trader right around Cowboy. Trader now has to set sails back on Vroman, who's out here in this clean air. He's got a good little gap to the next lap down truck.
And right now with that line of lap down trucks in front of him, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's like, I might want to back down the pace a little bit.
Yeah, he might back it down just a skosh. See if he can get those tires to cool back off a little bit. He had a huge battle with Cowboy to get past him. So he was really making that 95 work. So he might be trying to cool those tires down just for a minute. He's got about 1.2 second gap over Trader here, so he's got the time.
And right now, we're about 10 laps away from the pit cycles re-firing up again. So just keep that in mind as we get to this point now.
Already?
Already, I know. Time flies when you're having fun, ain't it?
Man, you can say that again.
These guys doing a great job, though. I mean, we talked about you see when you have lap cars that can put up a fight with the leader like we just saw. I mean, that's what makes this so fun. You look at all these guys in NNR, they do such a great job.
Yeah, and it's super clean racing. I mean, nobody was, hacking noses off or pulling slide jobs or anything like that. It was just super clean racing, hard racing, trying to stay on the lead lap. Taking a look back here at Anasagak, he's running P3 in that 18 truck. You see right behind him is Bain in the 16 and Robertson in the 64. It's the back half of your top 5 here. Of course, you got Vroman leading, Trader running P2.
Right now, as we hit that spot now, lap 100 coming to the stripe this time.
Yeah, 40 to go. So about 5 laps opens up the window to make it to the end. We think 35, 36 laps is kind of the max that these guys have been getting on fuel. At least that's what we've been seeing. So about 5 laps from here opens it up to make that last stop.
Yeah, and Larry just sent me a text message. He's saying about lap 105. He's saying 105, 106, somewhere in there. He's saying is when the pit window opens to be able to make it to the end. So he's gonna be out there. He's in the he's next door, just on a pen and paper, just making sure for us.
Over there working that math.
About to say it's probably better than me.
Oh, you definitely don't want me in charge of the math.
About to say I'm the one that says the calculator is broken, but it's more like operator error. You ever have one of those moments?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Checking in on the 25 of Drew Trader. We talked about him early on. His struggles in practice, his struggles in qualifying. Man, he is having a really good race. Up to P7 right now. Up 12 spots from the beginning of the race. So putting together a really good race. So shout out to the 25, Drew Trader here.
And we talked about the 95 bringing the gap back. I might want to talk about the 56 reeling him back in.
Is it getting heated back up here towards the front?
Oh, it's getting close. We're now down to the smallest this lead has been since the start of the race. 0.5 of a second.
Oh my goodness. Nick Trader on a roll. Got that lead under a half second right now.
And we talk about nearing the end of a run. Now the pit cycle is going to start. The 77 calling he's going to be in this time, so going to be questionable about how long they could possibly make it if he can make it to the end. But we're hitting that cycle. Another 10th knocked down by Nick Trader as he's starting to reel in that 95.
I think we need to go to the gyro cam here on this 56 just to see what he's doing and what it looks like.
Definitely, go ahead. Let's take it.
They're coming to pit road. 56
Whoa!
on the brakes. He slides. He gets to the back of the 95. Oh, no. Oh, no. Got some heavy damage here on the nose, on that right front nose. You hate to see it, man.
And that's heavy damage to the back of the 95 as well.
Anasagak might be capitalizing on this here. He's right there on pit road with him. Ed Robertson stayed out. Looks like he's going to be coming this time.
And keep in mind, this is no fast repairs. No fast repairs whatsoever.
No, not at all. These pit crews, they're going to try to get as much done as they can. Let's see if we can see the back.
That 95, he's going to be exiting with that damage. Heavy damage to the back and right rear.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, big hit to the back of the 95 here. That spoiler looks like Zorro got a hold of the 95 spoiler there. Shaped like a Z.
And that may definitely, I mean, when the spoiler is that bent, what do we expect the handling of this car or truck to do?
He's probably gonna lose. He's gonna lose speed on the straightaways, just because that spoiler, the air is gonna be hitting it kind of wonky. The other thing that he's gonna be experiencing is it's gonna feel a little bit different in the corner. I don't know if this is gonna knock him loose or knock him to the tight side, but he's definitely gonna be on either end of that spectrum.
Well, right now he about 2 to 3 seconds in front of Nick Trader and Bain and Anasagak. Nick Trader, luckily enough, able to hold on to that position, but not for long. Here comes Bain to the inside, looking to take over P2.
Yeah, Bain coming up, going to be for P2. We still got Cole Snyder and Matt Cochran then having pit. Looks like Cole Snyder's coming down now. Cowboy should be coming soon, but Bain's going to take that position. Once this cycles out, this is going to be for P2. See Anasagak there, just a little bit further back. Cowboy also on pit road now.
So you're seeing all these guys coming into this race, and now you can see what one mistake can do to a guy's race. Nick Schrader so close. I mean, Matt, you can't blame him for taking that spot. That was the money stop right there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was aggressive getting on the pit road. Just unfortunately, it didn't work out all that great for him. But you know, he's still running here in the top 3, so nothing to hang your head at if you're Nick Trader. But man, all that time that he just he made up on Vroman over that last stint, that is gone. So he just needs to hold on and get a good finish and keep in this championship.
Definitely, and that's very unfortunate. You can never tell the handling count away from that 56. But as we run down another lap to this point, looking at the gap, Bain is actually slowly catching Roman. Gained a 10th that lap by, still going to be about a 2.8, 2.9 gap, but he gained a 10th. And with the amount of laps, if we just, quick math, just a little bit of quick math, 30 laps, I mean, that easily should be able to catch Roman in the final few, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So 10th a lap, 30 laps, 3 seconds. He should be pretty close. If he can keep this pace and Roman keeps his pace, this will get really exciting here towards the end as we see Anasagak going around Nick Trader. It's going to be for P3.
Right now, these guys still battling, and as these guys continue to battle, they're starting to. I'm noticing with lap traffic right now, the 95 may be getting in another difficult position. I'm seeing him; he's having to definitely alter his line to this bit of the track right now. As now he goes on the attack of Ryan Shiro. Not sure how this is going to work. It looks like he's just going to let him by, and that's going to be another a lap down. So up to, even with that damage now, up to 10th, 1 lap down.
Man, just an absolute dominant performance by these guys in the top 10 here. Been having really good pace. Um, so Forrest Smith in the 84. This is going to be the last truck on the lead lap. You see him battling here with Nick Vroman, trying to stay on this lead lap.
And right now you see that 95, this is probably the last position he wants to be in right now, is battling once again with a group of lap trucks, especially with the damage now to that 95.
Yeah, not only does he have this damage that we've talked about, but Bain, he's got really good speed, and his truck is clean as a whistle. So I'm sure he's going to be closing down this gap really quickly the longer Roman has to fight.
Yeah, 4/10 last time by was how much he caught on that gap.
That's huge, man. That's huge.
And that only tells you we're going to see the gap this time by, and I'd imagine it'd be a similar decrease in the gap as well. 95 hits the line. Let's see when Bain hits the line what the gap is at. 1.8, so 0.2 that time by.
Yeah, so Roman's got a handful here in front of him. Got Kobe there in the 28. Got Smith there in the 84 just ahead of him. And he's got Bain flying behind him.
And this is probably the last thing you wanted to see. These guys getting rowdy in front of them as well.
You know, when you're leading a race and you got a pretty good lead like Roman does right now, he's got a 2-second lead or 1.8 second lead, which is a pretty sizable lead. Typically, the last thing you want to see is a caution. I bet he wouldn't mind seeing it right here.
Definitely. I think this is the one time I don't think he would mind seeing that yellow come.
No, probably wouldn't bother him much. He might pull a Robbie Gordon and start throwing roll bar padding out here in just a little bit.
You put a memory back in my head on that one. But
Yeah.
another 0.2 close down that gap now, 1.5 between him and that 16 who is just closing in.
Let's go back here and take a look at this 16. 16's got no trouble in front of him. He's just got clear racetrack. Got the 69 right behind him. Not giving him much trouble at all. That's Lewis Jr. in the lucky dog spot, so he's not going to be giving him too much trouble. Bain just needs to set sail and hit his marks, get as much speed here. 22 laps to go. Get as much speed out of that 16 truck as he can.
And now 0.3 that time by. So I don't know if the 95 at this point is now trying to save or if he is really getting affected by that damage and is just in a tough position.
Yeah, 95, man, he's struggling up here leading this thing. He's got that damage. He's got these lap trucks. He's got a lot going on right here. He's got a handful of that Ford. There's no doubt about that.
And now the gap to 1 second now, and you really have to think, you know, this is the first time we've really seen that 95 with his back against the wall.
Yeah, we're gonna see what he's got so he can hold off Bain, because Bain's gonna be closing in on him here. Probably about 3-4 laps. He's gonna be right at the bumper.
Most certainly, we're going to see the gap this time by. I'd imagine it flows in some more as we cross the stripe this time by. Now 0.8 of a second as the 95 goes on the attack of the 73. He knows it's go time. He has to move.
Yeah, that 95, he's got to get everything out of this truck that he can right now. Clears the 73. He's got the 09 right there in tow with him. 09's looking kind of racy on the outside, but not taking a run. He is a lap down.
And right now, the biggest thing for the 95 is that gap stayed consistent. That time by still 0.8 of a second. But the worst thing for him right now, that 09's going on the attack of him.
Yeah, Absolutely. 09's going on the attack.
Whoa, and here we go. The 16-1 car separating them now.
Now they're right here at it. 16 definitely sees the leader right now. He's going up to the top side with the 73. 16's got to make a choice. Where's he going to run? He says, heck, I'll just take my half in the middle.
And that's to get that little extra run to get behind the 73 here on this back straightaway. Look at the move here by the 16 as he's looking to set it up. Now looking to go 3 wide, and he's going to do it. Here we go. The 28 trying to cut him off in front of him, and the 16, he's going to move to the lead here.
16 moves it up here to point. Great run, closing down that gap. Now let's see what he does with this lap traffic.
Able to make it through that group pretty clean, but another group ahead of him. And this is the worst thing that 95 could have seen. That lap before the 16 started making his move, he caught 7 tenths to the back of the 95.
Oh no!
And
16 sliding! He saves it. 69 to 16 just barely touched. 16 saves it. 95 back to the point. Holy cow, you gotta be kidding me. Look at this race.
Whoa! And the 95, you talk about it back to the point. Talk about catching a break.
Oh my goodness gracious. He's got 16 laps here. He's back to the point. He knows that 16's fast, so he's got to do all he can here. These 16 laps to hold him off. He's got about a second lead over the 16 right now. Robertson not too much further back. Robertson's got it down to about a second back, so 16's going to have to start watching his mirror because Robertson's coming for him.
Yeah, and he definitely spotted those tires. So the question is, what is the 16 got now for the 95? And what is the situation the 95 is in? Is that damage too much for him?
Coming to 14 to go this time by. Taking a look at Robertson, running P3, having another solid run here, right behind the 16. 16 running P2, Robertson P3, Anasakak P4. Nick Trader's falling back to 5th for those Nick Trader fans watching.
And right now, I heard over radio, these 69 and the 16 aren't too happy with each other. So I would not be surprised if...
I can't imagine there's going to be much Christmas card exchange between these two.
I wouldn't either. I don't think, I don't even think it's going to be hey, you want something to drink or any of that. You're not holding the door for them or nothing like that. It's one of those scenarios. But here comes Robertson to the inside of the 16.
Robertson working the inside of the 16. 69 still there right in front of him. So 95 up front on point. 69 in between. Now the 16 and the 64. This is for P2. Running side by side down here in 3 and 4. 16 on the top, 64 on the bottom. Robertson's had really good pace to track these guys down.
And right now, I mean, if you're the 16, you got to eventually let them go. You can't lose too much time. And now we got a call that the 88's going to be going down here. So I don't know, are these guys going to be able to fully make it?
They should. Some of these guys pitted just a tad bit early, I thought. All these leaders, I think, pitted in the right window to make it to the end. I saw some of these guys coming before the leaders, and really made me raise a brow. But we're seeing Tyndall come down pit road now.
Right now, these guys really getting stacked up again. Here comes the 69, and these guys side by side behind him still. This one's not over.
No, not at all. You can throw a blanket over those 4 trucks right there. So this is for the lead. You got the 95, you got the 64, you got the 16. You got the 69 truck up here on the high side. He is a lap down. 95 with a big wiggle going into 1. 64 holds bottom with him. 16 working at the top side. He's got to run. He might be able to get around Vroman here on the top side coming off of 2.
And here he goes back to the point, but the last thing he wants to see is that 69 in front of him.
Now these two are none too pleased with each other right now. The 16 and the 69, that is. We see the 64's got really good pace. He's getting to the outside of Roman here. He might be able to pass him. Anasagak, he's looking to capitalize on this in that 18 truck.
And right here, these guys side by side once again. What is going to happen here with the 16 and the 69? 16 able to clear him. 69 right back to the back bumper.
16.
And here we go. Oh, what a block.
Wow. Coming to 8 laps to go. We're looking at the 16 of Bain, the 64 Robertson. This is P1, P2. Anasagak has gotten around Vroman. Anasagak up to P3.
These guys going at it. Here comes Robertson side by side for the lead as we go through 1 and 2.
And in case you guys are wondering why this 69 is battling these leaders so hard, that is the last lead lap position. So he's fighting for something. He's just not a lap truck in the way. He is fighting for position here.
And right now, as these top two battle, oh, it get messy again. Here we go, lap trucks galore in front of them as they try to make it through.
They go to work on the 09. They get by him fairly clean. 64 staying right in the tire tracks at the 16.
And all over the back bumper, pushing him down the back straightaway.
Oh, yeah. Might have even helped him get into 3 there a little bit.
But to say the truck ain't going to turn too well whenever your rear tires are lifted off.
Yeah, no kid. 64 all the way down to the inside. He's got a heck of a run on this 16. Let's see what they get down here in 1 and 2. 64 takes it. 64 to the point. Ed Robertson.
And we've talked about it over and over again that Robertson has been building momentum throughout the season, has been a dark horse at, I would say, been sneakily always in the top 3, top 5, has really made a name for himself, and now he is only a few laps away from clinching his first ever NNR iRacing Truck Series victory.
Yeah, Anasagak there behind him's got really good pace. Anasagak just got around Bain, so Anasagak up to P2. So depending on what kind of lap traffic Robertson has to deal with, we might see Anasagak have to being able to capitalize on this, having only 5 laps to go.
And Anasagak, he's been catching both of these guys for a little bit now. Now he's going to try to go on the attack and see if he has enough. As we come to 4 laps to go this time by.
Now that's not a very big gap there at all. I wouldn't be super comfortable if I was driving that 64. That 18 is rolling right now.
And we talk about 2 guys who have been so close. 2 guys who have just been needing a break, needing some momentum, needing some help in this season to get back on track. And we're seeing it right here in 1 and 2. If there's 2 guys you know that deserve the win that haven't been able to get there yet, it's these 2 guys. 3 to go this time by.
Jeremy Horn, that 81, doing a really great job staying out of the way. He realizes this is the battle for the lead. He's multiple laps down. He's not racing for position. Just let him go.
Right now, these guys still running. 64, 18, battling it out. 22 just ahead of them. Right now, 64 running half a lane higher, trying to get the run off the corner. But here in the draft stays the 18. Down the front straightaway, 2 laps to go.
18 is all over him getting into turn 1. About a half a truck length between these 2. 18 just hanging right there with him.
And right here, this is going to be the time. When will we see the move? Through 3 and 4 coming to the white flag. This 18 trying to build up a run. And as we come to the stripe, it's going to be white flag. 1 lap to go here at Chicagoland. Will Robertson be able to hold on 4 more corners?
He's got a really good 1 and 2. Last time by, the 18 was better in 1 and 2. He was better in 3 and 4, so he made a little bit of gap. Let's see if this 18 Anasagak can get him down here in 3 and 4. Oh, 18 just barely touched the wall there.
And right now, with that one, it looks simple to call. the 64 off of turn 4. For the first time in his career, Robertson wins here at Chicagoland.
Absolute great battle. You got Robertson bringing this thing home. Absolute great run right there at the end. Anasagot P2.
Litzenberger P3.
Litzenberger P3. Look at that. He got around Bain at the end.
Oh my Lord.
Wow, good job. Bain ended up 4th. Roman came home 5th. Nick Trader in 6th. So not a huge shakeup in the points as far as the top 2. They finished 5th and 6th. Cole Snyder, great run, man. Cole Snyder came home 7th. Paul Irvin 8th. Matthew Boone with a good run came home 9th. And Forrest Smith in that number 84 truck finished 10th, last truck on the lead lap.
And you gotta love the burnout we're seeing right now. This 64, you know he's soaking it in. And we gotta talk to some of these guys. Let's go ahead and pull in old Litzenberger here if we can get him. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull him into the broadcast booth. All right, James, it is Blair, an expert up in the booth. You got a copy, my friend.
What's up, guys?
Talk about Mr. Out of Nowhere. You come up here and finish top 3. I swear, this sandbagging thing, it's got to be something, Blair. It's got to be something.
I mean, honestly, I'd love to say I was sandbagging, but I before the race, I knew what my target lap was, and I just hit that lap every time. I ran out, actually, coming off turn 2 on the end lap, so it was, planned out. Once I saw some of these guys pitting, I honestly thought the 18 and 64 were going to run out. So they did a very good job. I want to give a shout out to Muffin. He really played good strategy, got the win. Team Ford, that's what's up.
Definitely, and I mean, this is an abnormal top 3, a lot of action, and we've seen you building momentum up to this point. When are we going to see that 21 in victory lane? We're heading to Bristol next week. You think you got a shot?
Well, I'd hate to say it, that it seems like my runs in the 21 car seem to coincide very well with Matty D at the moment. So, we're building some good momentum. The team, we're clicking well. I think Bristol's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that one.
Well, definitely. We are too, my friend. Congratulations on the top 3. We're going to send you up to General for the
All right.
drivers meeting you're going to have.
Blair, expert, appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for commentating. Chloe, Matt, Traders, One Mind Design. Thank you very much for that, guys.
Of course. Thank you once again. Definitely always nice to talk to James, and we're going to move him back up there. Now it's time to talk to old Justin Anasagot. Let's see if we can find him real quick. I got to look through here. There we go. All right, there. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to let you take this one, Blair.
Anasagot, you got a copy on us?
Yes, I do.
Man, what a run in that 18 Target Tundra. Tell us about it.
Oh, man. Just, the last 2 races I've been wrecked pretty early, So this race, I just tried to keep it clean the whole time. And then Muffin just took my line away at the end right there, and I told him. So it just dirty air just got me right at the end. I had a little bit better tire, saving and a little bit more fuel, but I'll take a second place over, as long as Muffin won,
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome sportsmanship here in this league. Good to see you running good. Good to see you up front. You've been fast. What was the biggest struggle here at Chicagoland for you tonight?
Getting past lap traffic tonight. They just wanted to race people. I don't know why, but other than that, it went pretty fine. My truck pretty much stayed the same while I got a little bit tight. So the tire fall off was key. The 95 was class of the field, but he had a safe fuel, and it looks like he got a little bit damaged with, I don't know when he got that, but we went by him. And yeah, I think he finished 4th.
Yeah, 95 actually ended up 5th. Him and Nick Trader made a little bit of contact on that last green flag pit stop. Trader got damage to the nose, 95 got damage to the tail, and that really shook up this top 5, that's for sure. But great run. Any shout outs you want to give before we get you up there to general?
You guys, the league, a green flag all the way from start to finish, so that was good. I know we had a little bit of people go off the track going into turn 3, but they corrected it and stayed down low and stayed off the racing surface. And Muffin, you got to win. So
There you go. There you go. Awesome job. We look forward to seeing you next week at Bristol.
thank you.
All right, and let's go ahead and move Mr. Anasagok up there to general. And now, one last time, let's go ahead and move Old Robertson into the booth. And I think this has been a long time coming. Mr. Robertson in victory lane. How are you doing, my friend?
Woo! Yes, very long time coming. To be honest, I still can't believe that I actually won. I don't think I had the best car out there. I was hoping for a nice, quiet top 5 today. Chicago is a great track, but it's not necessarily my favorite. Um, and I was just, doing my thing, and next thing I know, people are running out of gas. And I had just enough. I ran out of gas coming to do some burnouts, so I had just enough to make it to the finish, just not enough to celebrate. But what a race! What a race!
Definitely, and it's nice to finally see you get to victory lane. We know it's been a tough time for you. You've been consistently in positions to go up there and finish top 5, and try to put yourself in a position to win.
Yep.
But it just hasn't clicked, and now here at this point, it finally has. Not to win at Chicagoland, and now we're heading to Bristol next week. Are you looking to make it back to back? We got a shot there.
I want to like Bristol. I love Bristol, but Bristol does not love me. That's just going to be another one of those races. If I can just kind of come out a little unscathed, I'm probably going to take a nick or 2 here and there. I expect it being Bristol, but that's just another one of those Achilles heels of a track. So I think kind of getting past this hump, winning today might relax me a little bit more. I definitely had some pressure on me. Poor qualifying results kind of put me in the thick of things and kind of got me in a mess of trouble. Turned it around this week with a good qualifying run. Really focused on that. So I think I got a new mindset going forward of just trying to get those better starting spots to help propel to a better overall race. And just like today, anything could absolutely happen. I said I don't think I was a winning car at all, but it's just cards fell just right for me today.
Well, certainly, and you can definitely hear the excitement in your voice.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
shout outs from you, my friend?
Well, definitely you guys. You do such a great job broadcasting this race. I hope we put on a good enough show for you guys to call. The boys at NNR, Matt, Coe, Horn, all those guys, just for being able to put this show on, having a platform for us to race. The guys at One Mind Two Design, Snag, Drew, and all those guys from Peyton. Some beautiful looking cars. Finally glad to see the Grey Ghost in victory lane. And yeah, absolutely. That's about it.
Definitely. Well, happy to see you once again in victory lane. Congratulations to you, my friend. Hope to see you get that second NNR iRacing career win next week. But of course, congratulations once again on tonight. Go celebrate, my friend. We're going to send you to general.
Thank you very much.
All right, sending him up to general. And Blair, we notch another week here in the NNR iRacing Series, Week 8 at Chicagoland. And what a race it was. I mean, we didn't even know on the last lap who was going to end up winning. I think that's been a first since Daytona.
Man, it was unbelievable. These guys here in this NNR league, all these drivers, they did not disappoint whatsoever. I mean, they, week in, week out, they bring awesome racing to you guys over here on Twitch, and they definitely brought it back again this week. We saw Roman with a huge lead. We saw Trader run him down. We saw a little bit of an incident. We saw a green flag race, no cautions. Then we saw a huge shakeup at the end with Robertson getting the win and Anna Sagak right there on his tail. Man, that was an awesome race. I am just super happy that I got to be here in the booth. Just super honored to sit here and call this race with you again this week.
Definitely. Well, happy to have you here, my friend. And of course, we're going to be heading to the last great Coliseum next week as these guys are going to be tackling Bristol under the lights. Going to be a lot of fun to see these guys go battling there. But once again, congratulations to Robertson, Anna Sagak, and Litzenberger. A tough break for Vroman and Schrader towards the end of that race. But for everyone at NNR, One Mind to Design, everyone a part of the Expert Racing community, for Blair Patterson, myself, Expert Racing, and everyone at the Expert Racing Network, we want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time. Peace.